We got one goal this video. No meta allowed. We're not here to play to win. We're not here to engage in the competitiveness or the efficiency or anything like that. We're here to lose. And we're gonna have a good time losing. Because I'd like to show y'all every single meme build in Dead by Daylight. At least every single one that I could think of that I could reasonably consider a meme build. Definition time. Running a meme build means you're doing too much of something, you're hindering yourself, and you're not making your opponent miserable. So a head-on build might be too much of something, but it's also probably making the killer miserable. And a haste build might be fun for the killer, but it sure as heck isn't fun to face. That's probably enough explanation. Let's get into it. Survivor Band. This is an easy to run build. You just gotta bring Bardic Inspiration for the loot and or the new V perk 1, 2, 3, 4 for the tambourine. You can play an instrument for your friends, for yourself, and of course for the killer.
Oh, it's Myers.
Okay.
Oh, Murph.
All right, let's go.
All
right.
Everyone play! Everyone play! Ah! Yes! Oh my gosh! What? Oh my god! No! No!
We were choosing.
No! This is a 10 out of 10 meme build. Best enjoyed with friends, but you can also play it solo and bring some whimsy into any trial. Chest build. There are a bunch of perks that make searching chests more viable. It's still a complete waste of time compared to doing generators, but now you're getting more items. And that's the goal of the build. Appraisal to get more items from chests, plunderers to find chests and items, residual manifest to get an extra flashlight, and then a 4th chest perk of your choice.
New map icon is bolted.
Oh yeah.
No, he's looking! He's looking!
No, like I said, that's the new.
Wait,
that's
wait,
the new.
Wait, guys, this is the second clown we've charmed with a bunch of items. This is crazy.
Perfect.
Clowns love items. Confirmed. Clown players love items more than anything else.
Oh my gosh. He's probably shocked. There's like 30 items in there. I need to get more. This is one of the builds that is best done in a 4-man Swift, because if you're doing this solo, you are going to be left on hook to die for being an inefficient teammate. Don't ask me how I know this. This is an 8.5 out of 10 meme build. It is very time consuming, and while I'm sure this clown enjoyed being given gifts, there is such thing as too many items. The infamous Steve goal. This barely needs any explanation. Ever since the release of Nick Cage, and more importantly, Scene Partner, we've seen a rise of Steves running it so that they can screech as much as possible to deal maximum psychic damage to the killer. This technically doesn't make the killer miserable. It just might make the killer really annoyed. Honestly, if you have too many Steve goals, the killer might either disconnect or bleed everyone out to avoid hearing one more high-pitched Steve scream. But some killers enjoy it, you know? This build is a hit or miss. It can be funny, but it can also be extremely obnoxious, so it will get a 6.5 out of 10. Backpack build. The general idea behind the backpack build is to bring a bunch of perks to carry the survivor for as long as possible, and you're essentially wielding survivors against their teammates. It's even funnier when the survivor plays along and lets you carry them. The build I ran was Agitation to carry faster, Iron Grasp to carry for a longer period of time, Mad Grit so that you can swing wildly with no cooldown, and Awakened Awareness to see the auras of survivors while carrying them. I had a couple of backpack games, and while this can be played on any killer, Clown is the most fun because he's able to speed himself up with his yellow bottles and absolutely zoom. Oh, you little rat. Dang it. This may have been the original meme build for killers. For that, it gets a 9 out of 10. Scream build on killer. This build has similar energy to the Steve Go build, but instead of completely relying on Scene Partner, you just run a bunch of perks that cause the survivors to scream as much as possible. So I ran Phantom Menace. Hi, editing stage here. I don't know why I called it Phantom Menace. I know it's Phantom Fear. Don't correct me. Phantom Fear, where you make survivors scream when they look at you. Thwack, which makes survivors scream when you break a pallet. You guys see the pattern here. Ultimate Weapon makes survivors scream when you open a locker. And Hex Face the Darkness makes survivors scream intermittently. Perfect. Get used to that. This is beautiful. You knocked that shit off. I played Doctor to cause maximum screams, but you can run this on anyone. It's ineffective on every killer, but it's silly and it makes me happy to cause chaos. This is a run-of-the-mill silly build where you take one aspect of killer and do too much of it. 7 out of 10. Undying Trapper. So I don't know if I invented this, but I've never seen anyone else do it personally. With the exception of a Spooky Loops stream highlights clip where he was looking at a totem and it had like 6 traps around it and he made a deadpan joke or something and I saw that and was like, I have to try this. And I never looked back. All you need is Hex Undying and Insidious. It's pretty simple really. All you have to do is collect all your traps and put them around your Hex totem and prevent it from getting cleansed at all costs. Well, another super fun meme build for everyone involved is Basement Trapper, where you put a survivor in the basement, put all your traps around the entrances to shack or main or whatever, and wow, everyone's having such a good time! No, but protecting a Hex totem is fun, and usually survivors get at least a little bit curious about why there are 8 bear traps around 1 totem. I even had a nice moment where a survivor and I traded a Hex totem for a boon totem. That was sweet. This is a unique build where you get a new win condition, but it's one of the meme builds where if the survivors don't engage, it's a little bit boring. For that, it will get a 6 out of 10. Basement Bubba / Fishing Twins. These two are put into the same category because they both involve a lot of waiting. You're not playing the game normally, you're crafting a trap for the survivor to fall into. Basement Bubba is a classic where you bring Insidious and wait in the basement all game. Though, again, if the survivors don't engage, you're gonna feel a little foolish. Fishing Twins was pitched by a friend of mine. You bring double Eerie add-ons and Insidious, as well as slowdown perks so that survivors have as much time as possible to find you. You set up Charlotte at a spot that is high up and hidden, and you put Victor below you and you use him as bait to reel in fish, aka survivors. Alright, get on this friggin' hook. Get out of here. Get out of here. Feelers. I got one! Let's go! A sable, though. That's a common fish. I want a rare one. I want to reel me in. Dang it. They're on to me, guys. Basement Trust Bubba gets an 8.5 out of 10 for the energy he brings into the trials, and Fishing Twins gets a 7.5 out of 10 because sometimes the fish are smart and you look like a fool for being tricked by a fish. Survivor Trickery Build. That was the best name I could come up with. Alright. There are a couple of survivor perks that mislead or trick the killer. The best ones are Deception, which swing locker doors open as if you got into them. Mirrored Illusion, which places an illusion of you on a generator. And Diversion, where you can throw a rock to make a noise notification. It's difficult to get value out of these perks, but it's almost always a good time. These are relatively passive builds because the most you could do is waste a bit of the killer's time, but I think they're still fun. Best run solo, because if you're in a group, the killer would catch on really quickly. 8 out of 10. M1 Nurse. Nurse is the strongest character in the game, so you might be wondering how she ended up on the no meta list, but I present to you a nurse that basically just speedwalks at you and barely uses her power. This requires a bunch of chase perks that would be strong on any other killer, but are really just useless on Nurse, and then you play like a normal M1 killer. And very importantly, you need to bring this specific add-on that makes it so you can't blink, but you walk a normal speed. Come here! I'm so fast. I'm just gonna walk towards you menacingly. I'm such a fucking rascal. Ooh! Where you going, buddy? You ever seen a nurse vault? Alright, there you go. The humor of this build really comes from the fact that Nurse is an S tier killer and you're playing her like a basic M1 killer. That's kind of funny. 4 out of 10. Dogula. Dracula has a bunch of abilities, but the most important one, in my opinion, is that he can turn into a very cute and very harmless dog. So you bring a bunch of perks with dogs on them, it doesn't matter what they do, and just be a dog. Come here, Retha. It's my son! Oh my gosh! We got an Alucard! Wait! Oh my goodness! I gotta leave him alone. That's my boy! That's my son! This is a killer-specific meme build, and if you don't enjoy being a dog, then unfortunately it won't be for you. So, 5 out of 10. Nemesis. You see, this is very clever. This is a very funny build. So you play the killer, the Nemesis, and you run the perk, the Oni perk, Nemesis, as this is very sophisticated. You might not get it, because it's like, let's Nemesis this gen, and then Nemesis this Survivor. Nemesis out of 10. The possum build for Survivor. I guess I call it a possum because it's like you play dead or whatever. So we've talked about some alternate win conditions for killer. Here's an alternate goal for Survivor. This build requires 1 perk. Nick Cage's plot twist. You can run whatever you want after that. You gotta time it right so that you make the killer miss while they're trying to hit you to down you. And if you get it, then it's very silly when they miss. And they normally look a little embarrassed. I highly recommend running this in solo because, again, the killer probably won't expect it. All of Cage's perks are great, but this one's the best. 10 out of 10. Before I move on to the conclusion, I want to thank my awesome, wonderful, amazing Ko-Fi people. Thank you, Misfortune, Herp, Clover, Itza, Mazer, Silver, Plague, Dingo, Souza, Fluffy, Hammock, Gwen, Fajitas, Bashi, Nelson, Cats, Rats, Thief, Ulrin, Pirate, Rabid, Leo, Jonathan, and Nemoon. Thank you guys. Back to the video. I had a lot of fun playing unconventionally. I know in my last video I kind of tried to dip my toes into talking about DVD balancing and the absurdity of it, but can I be real with you guys? I didn't enjoy talking about it. I prefer avoiding talk of gen rushing and tunneling and the developers because it just brings you down a negative path and eventually you just hate the game. By recording this video, I reminded myself why I love Dead by Daylight so much. It's fun, it's silly, and you can engage with it however you want. You do not have to play the game competitively unless that's a playstyle that brings you joy. Or unless your teammates leave you to die. But if you're looking for people to Swift with, you should join my server. There are Swifts and people chatting every day. It's a good time. I hope y'all had a wonderful Halloween. If there were any builds I missed, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you beautiful people next time.